Hello everyone, it's Dianne at Minerva. I hope you're all doing really well today. And right now I'm going to share with you a sew along for a gorgeous little blouse by Now and Then. So if you don't know already, Minerva now own Now and Then patterns. So these are a beautiful collection of vintage patterns. They're all readily available here for you to purchase along with your fabrics and notions. And today we're going to be making the Evelyn blouse or dress. So you can make this as a blouse or a dress. So the blouse has a peplum. That's the view that we're going to be doing today. You can also make it either with long sleeves or short sleeves. So long sleeves with a gathered in cuff or the shorter sleeves, sort of flared. And these are raglan. The neckline is softly gathered, as you can see on the image, and it's cinched in at the waist as well. It goes from a peplum, but you can pull it in further with this self-tie belt. Of course, you could also wear a purchase belt as well, if that's what you prefer. The back neck has a small slit and then a button for ease of getting on and off. So some beautiful features and a lovely vintage pattern. Now, what we're going to be using today is this Minerva viscose challis, and this one is called Nursery Blooms. It's a beautiful colour and it has this lovely floral design running through it with some really pretty colours, and I think it'll work really well with the vintage design of this pattern. Wash and prepare that fabric before we begin, and of course check your sizing with the tape measure. Let's go and cut our pattern pieces together now. Here are your pattern pieces for your blouse. So this is the back bodice. We're going to cut one. You can lengthen or shorten at this marking here. The straight grain is this way. Make a note of your markings and also this cut line for the back. Don't cut this yet. We're going to cut this after we've added our facing at a later point. Here is the front bodice. Again, you're going to cut one piece. Lengthen or shorten at the line here. The straight grain is this way. Make a note of the markings. This line here shows where you gather between the notches, and these points at the bottom show where you gather between the corresponding notches. Here is the sleeve. You're going to cut two pieces. The straight grain is this way. This is the dart. Make a note of the markings. Here are the peplum pieces for the front and back blouse bodice. So for this one, the straight grain is going this way. Of course, if you're making the dress, you have the option of cutting it on the bias. We are making the blouse today. Note your markings. Here is the front neck facing. So the grain line is this way. You're going to cut one piece in the main fabric and one piece in interfacing. Here we have the belt. For this, we're going to cut a length of fabric 140 centimeters long and 8 centimeters wide. This is your back neck facing. You're going to cut one in fabric and one in interfacing. Make a note of this cutting line here, but don't cut it just yet. Now we're ready to begin making our blouse. So first of all, you want to iron half of your thread onto your machine spool and check your machine needle. So on this viscose challis today, I'm using a sharp size 70. You may wish to test this on a piece of scrap before we begin. Then when you've done that, apply the piece of interfacing to the neck facing. Let's get started. Now for our first job, we're going to take our front bodice piece like this, lay it out flat, and we have notches here at this side at the top and here. Between these two notches, we're going to do 2 lines of gathering stitches. So you may wish to change to a larger stitch length. It makes it easier to pull the gathering stitches. We do these a couple of millimeters apart, and the seam allowance on this pattern is 1 centimeter. So you want to do it within that 1 centimeter line. Now we're going to repeat this step on the lower edge of the front. So on the front edge of the bodice, we have notches here at this side and here at this side. So 2 rows on each side between the notches. Again, you may wish to change to a longer stitch for your gathering stitches. Next, we're going to take our back bodice piece and our front bodice piece, and we're going to place them right sides facing like this. Now before you do this, you may wish to overlock or edge finish your side seams. If you're doing this, make sure that you mark in the markings correctly with chalk or some other method, such as a tailor's tack or something like that, because we don't want to lose it once we overlock the edges. If you are overlocking the edges, I would suggest doing it just to the edge of the fabric and only taking off literally crumbs, because it is a 1 centimetre seam. So if you take too much off at this point, you're going to lose some of that seam allowance. So do take care. You could also use a zigzag finish if you're not using an overlocker or serger. Place it right sides facing like this with the markings lined up, and then we're going to pin that side seam on both sides and stitch it in place with a 1 centimetre seam allowance. Once you've stitched that seam in place, press it open and flat. It's important to press at each stage, and this will give your garment a better finish. Now we're going to take our sleeves and stitch together our shoulder darts. We're working towards a gradual V, so don't come off too suddenly. Bring the right sides together like this. Again, we're stitching with a 1 centimetre seam, but you may wish to make your stitch a little smaller at this point. Work towards a point here and run off at the end, letting your threads run free. Press that seam down flat and repeat on the other side. Again, edge finish the side seams or the underarm seams of your sleeves like this. Then bring them together and stitch in place with a 1 centimetre seam. Once you've done that, press it open and flat. Now for your sleeves, there are different ways that you can do the hem. You can add an attachment on your machine to do a superfine rolled hem, or you can do what I've done here, and that is turn it up 5 to 6 millimeters and give it a press all the way around, and then press it up again the same amount. So a lot can be achieved with heat. You don't need a special foot, and this will give you a nice neat hem. Stitch that in place now. And your hem will look like this. At this point, you're going to pin your sleeves into the armhole like this. So here we have the back bodice. We have a marking here and a marking here. And it's the same on your sleeve look, 2 markings, and these are lined up, right sides facing, and we pin it at that position. Then coming round, we pin the underarm point here. And then here at the front of the bodice we have the 1 marking, and on the sleeve again 1 marking. So we're pinning it all the way around, making sure that those markings line up. Now if you have the wrong amount of markings, so 1 to 2, you have the wrong sleeve, so you need to put that one aside and pick up the other one. Once we've done that, we're going to stitch it in place with a 1 centimetre seam, and then sew a second line of stitching just inside that at 7 millimeters. Now we're going to join the front facing to the back facing here at the sides. So flip it over, stitch in place with a 1 centimetre seam. Now at this point we're also going to make a loop for our button, so you can either cut a 4 to 5 centimetre strip of fabric, fold it in half, stitch along it, and then pull through with a darning needle and piece of thread to make a rouleau loop, or you can use a piece of elastic. So I'm going to link this one in, and this is really handy because it gives you that extra bit of give for going over your button. So this is what we're going to use today, and I've cut it 4 centimetres, but depending on the size of your button that you're using for the back of your neck, if you've got like a decorative one that you want to use, you might want to make it a little bigger, but we have got that give in the elastic, so it's very forgiving. Now position either your elastic or your loop on the left hand side of the centre here, 10mm down from the top, and we're doing this on the right side of the fabric. I'm going to stitch that in place. Pull on your gathering stitches at the front so that they line up with the notches here and here. So here is your facing. We have notches for the sides and also for the back here. Make sure that they line up at all these points. Pin it in place. Pull on these stitches and even them out with your fingers so that they're even. And we also need to make sure we put a pinning the back facing here to the back bodice, and we have our line marked. When we arrive at this point, when we're stitching round it, we want a 10mm gap between here, so 5mm each side with the line in the centre. But as you're tapering down, you want to come to nothing here at the bottom. So come to a point, then we're going to lift our needle, turn it around and stitch up the other side, gradually tapering it out to 1 centimetre in total again across that top. So I'm going to start stitching from the side here, and when we get to the back point I'll show you that again. Now you can cut down that centre back area where you've just stitched. Now press the seam allowance towards the facing. Take care not to flatten your gathers, and we're going to understitch the seam allowance to the facing on the inside. You'll also want to trim it a little, especially where you have your gathers, just so that it's not too bulky. Now take your 2 peplum pieces, the back and the front, place them right sides facing. The front one has these markings, remember, and we will be pulling our gathering stitches between those on the main bodice part. We're going to join the side seams here with a 1cm seam, then press it open and flat. As you can see, I've already overlocked my edges. You could do this with a zigzag finish. Now with right sides facing, pin the peplum to the front. You need to pull on these gathering stitches between the markings here so that they match the markings on the peplum and the side seams, and then just ease in the back. So you will need to pull on it a little to bring it to it. Use as many pins as you need, then stitch this in place. Once you've done that, you can edge finish it in your chosen method. Now we're going to hem our blouse. So if you follow from diagram 5 where we folded it up 5mm, 5 or 6mm, then folded it up again like this, we can make a nice narrow hem. Again, you can use a roll hem foot if you wish for this. Now you may wish to make yourself 2 belt loop carriers. So what you can do is either make 2 regular loops by folding it to the middle, then folding it again like this and stitching down one side. You could also use ribbon or make 2 loops by sewing them from the wrong side and pulling them through with a darning needle, the same way that you may have done your loop for the back of the neck. We used elastic on mine. I've just folded mine, a double fold, so it's narrow, and I'm going to just stitch down one side. I've also turned in the end as I've started, and I'll turn in this end as I arrive at it. Now position your loops on at the side, so line it up with the peplum seam, and I'm going to stitch mine in place. Now take your belt and fold it in half lengthways if you're making a belt, and you want to sew it along the short edges and down the side with a 1cm seam. When we get to the halfway point, we need to leave an opening to pull it through to the right side. Now close your hole on the inside. So you can do this with a ladder stitch. Press it first to get an even edge. Now finally add in a button at the back neck. So here is the finished blouse. So I feel this is a really nice fit. I'll turn around so you can see the back. You can wear it with or without the belt, so you don't have to make the belt is optional. It just gives a little bit of extra definition, I think. And of course, if you're not making the belt, you don't need to make the belt loops as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed sewing along with me today. I think this works really well with this fabric. It has a really nice vintage feel to it. Please let us know if you've made this pattern or any of the others in the range. And remember to include any photographs with your comments, because we do love to see them made up in all the different fabrics and variations. Also, you can take a look at the Minerva Craft Club. So if you'd like to get 10% off all your orders for a whole year, sign up today. And also create a free account with us, because it's a wonderful place to gain some inspiration and plan your next make. That's all from me for today, but I hope to be back soon with more sewing inspiration for you. Thank you so much for watching today. Bye for now.